Did you know that Earth itself acts like a giant magnet? Deep beneath the surface, Earth's molten iron core is constantly spinning. That movement generates a massive magnetic field that surrounds the entire planet. But why does it matter? This magnetic field is like an invisible shield. It protects us from deadly solar radiation and high-energy particles from space. Without it, life on Earth as we know it wouldn't exist. And those beautiful auroras near the poles? They happen when charged particles collide with the magnetic field and light up the sky. Even more mind-blowing? Earth's magnetic poles aren't fixed. They slowly drift. And every few 100,000 years, they completely flip. So next time you use a compass or see the northern lights, remember, you're living on a planet-sized magnet that's silently guarding you. Have you heard of the burning hole in the desert? That's been on fire for over 50 years. Welcome to Turkmenistan's door to hell, a massive gas crater in the middle of the Karakum Desert. Back in 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas when the ground collapsed, forming a giant crater. To prevent poisonous gas leaks, they set it on fire, thinking it would burn out in a few days. But it never stopped. Today, the crater is about 70 meters wide and 20 meters deep, with flames and heat rising from its core day and night. It's one of the most surreal sights on Earth, glowing like a portal to another world. Sunsets on Earth are red and orange, but on Mars they're blue. This happens because of the fine red dust in the Martian atmosphere. Unlike Earth, where blue light scatters and red remains at sunset, Mars does the opposite. The dust on Mars scatters red light away and lets blue light pass straight through. So during sunrise and sunset, the sun is surrounded by a soft blue glow, while the rest of the sky stays reddish. NASA rovers like Spirit, Opportunity, and Curiosity captured this phenomenon, and it looks absolutely surreal. A blue sunset on a red planet? Only on Mars. Did you know that the average cloud weighs over 1 million pounds? That's about as heavy as 100 elephants. So why don't they fall out of the sky? It's all about density and air currents. Even though clouds contain a lot of water, that water is spread out in tiny droplets across a huge area, making the cloud less dense than the air below it. And as warm air rises, it lifts the cloud with it. Think of it like a hot air balloon, not heavy, just buoyant. That's why clouds appear to float effortlessly, even while carrying tons of water overhead. Jupiter isn't just the biggest planet, it also has the most moons. As of now, scientists have confirmed 95 moons orbiting Jupiter. Some are small and irregular, but a few, like Ganymede, are bigger than even Mercury. And guess what? New moons are still being discovered. The king of planets keeps getting moon upgrades. Meet Kepler 452b, a planet located 1/400 light years away in the constellation Cygnus. Discovered by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, it orbits a star similar to our sun. But here's the twist. Kepler 452b is about 60% larger than Earth and lies in the habitable zone, where liquid water could exist. That means it might have the right conditions for life. But it's also much older than Earth, around 6 billion years. If life ever evolved there, it could be way ahead of us, or long gone. So is it really Earth's twin? Maybe. Or maybe it's our future. Pluto's day is longer than you might think. One full rotation takes about 6.4 Earth days. That means a single day on Pluto lasts over 6 times. Longer than a day here on Earth. So, if you lived on Pluto, your days and nights would feel super slow and stretched out. What if I told you some creatures can survive the vacuum of space? Meet the tardigrade, aka the water bear. It can survive freezing temperatures near absolute zero and heat over 150 degrees. It doesn't need air. It resists radiation, dehydration, even starvation for years. In 2007, scientists exposed them to outer space, and they came back alive. Other space survivors? Nematodes, tiny worms, also returned alive from the ISS. These animals don't just survive, they cheat death, and might even help us understand life beyond Earth. Right now, you're moving at an incredible speed, and you don't even feel it. How? Because you're standing on a planet, spinning at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. At the equator, Earth's rotation is insanely fast, yet everything feels perfectly still. Why? It's all thanks to inertia. The same reason you don't feel motion inside a smooth airplane. We're moving with the Earth at a constant speed, and there's no sudden acceleration to alert our senses. But this invisible motion affects everything, from day and night to the way storms rotate due to the Coriolis effect. Even more mind-blowing? If Earth suddenly stopped spinning, oceans would flood continents, winds would tear across the globe, and gravity would behave strangely. So the next time you look up at the stars, just remember, you're standing on a massive, spinning planet, racing through space at 1,600 kilometers per hour, and it all feels completely calm. When you look up at the night sky, you're not seeing stars as they are. You're seeing them as they were thousands, even millions of years ago. That's because light takes time to travel. Some of the stars we see with the naked eye are over 1,000 light years away. That means the light you're seeing tonight actually left that star before the invention of the telescope. And here's the mind-blowing part. Some of those stars may have already exploded in supernovae, but their light is still making its way to us, like a message frozen in time. So yes, it's possible that some of the twinkling lights above you are ghosts of stars that no longer exist. Space isn't just distance, it's time.
While steak has more protein overall by weight, calorie for calorie, broccoli actually delivers more protein, with far less fat and zero cholesterol. Of course, you'd have to eat a lot of broccoli to match a steak, but it's still an impressive plant-based powerhouse.
Red, green, yellow, orange. Ever wondered why bell peppers come in so many colors? It's not because they're different plants. They're actually the same. Pepper at different stages of ripeness. Green peppers are unripe, a bit bitter and crunchy. Yellow and orange are mid-ripeness, slightly sweeter. Red peppers are fully ripe and the sweetest of them all. Not only does the flavor change with color, but so does the nutrition. Red bell peppers, for example, have more vitamin C than an orange. So next time you're shopping, remember, bell peppers are a rainbow of ripeness on one plant. Cut open an avocado and within minutes, it turns brown. But why? It's all thanks to a process called oxidation. When the soft green flesh is exposed to air, an enzyme called polyphenol oxidase reacts with oxygen. This creates melanin, the same pigment that gives human skin its color. The good news? That brown layer is harmless, just a natural chemical reaction. But if you want to slow it down, try a few tricks. Lemon or lime juice. The acid reduces oxidation. Olive oil but forms a barrier from the air. Or simply keep the pit in and cover tightly. Now you know browning isn't rot, it's science in action. Saffron, known as the red gold, is the world's most expensive spice, and for good reason. To produce just 1 pound of saffron, it takes about 75,000 crocus flowers. Why? Because each flower produces only 3 delicate stigmas, the saffron threads, and they must be hand-picked at dawn during a very short blooming season. The harvesting process is extremely labor-intensive and time-sensitive, making saffron costlier per gram than gold, sometimes reaching $5,000 to $10,000 per kilo. Despite the price, just a pinch adds a rich golden color and unique flavor to dishes like paella, biryani, and Persian stews. Caterpillars are among the most fascinating and overlooked creatures in the natural world. These soft-bodied insects are the larval stage of butterflies and moths, members of the Lepidoptera order. While many people admire the beauty of butterflies, few stop to appreciate the incredible transformation they undergo to get there. And it all starts with the caterpillar. Found on every continent except Antarctica, caterpillars come in an astonishing variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. There are over 180,000 known species of butterflies and moths, meaning the caterpillar stage is just as diverse. In this video, we'll explore how caterpillars grow, survive, and eventually become winged wonders. You're about to discover how these tiny creatures are built for change. The life of a caterpillar begins as an egg, usually laid on a leaf by a butterfly or moth. Once the egg hatches, a tiny larva emerges, hungry and ready to eat. This larva is the caterpillar. Over time, it undergoes several growth stages known as instars, where it sheds its skin repeatedly to accommodate its rapidly growing body. This process is part of complete metamorphosis, a dramatic 4-stage life cycle that includes the egg, larva, caterpillar, pupa, chrysalis or cocoon, and adult butterfly or moth. What's remarkable is how much change takes place during these stages, especially during pupation, which we'll explore later. But before that, the caterpillar has a lot of work to do, mainly eating and growing. At first glance, a caterpillar might look like a simple worm, but its body is highly specialized. It has a segmented body divided into three parts: the head, thorax, and abdomen. The head contains tiny eyes, strong jaws for chewing leaves, and short antennae. Behind the head, the thorax holds the three pairs of true legs. These are followed by the abdomen, which usually has several pairs of fleshy, suction cup-like prolegs that help the caterpillar grip and move. Despite their small size, caterpillars can have up to 4,000 muscles in their body, more than humans. They also produce silk from glands near their mouth, which they use to anchor themselves or build shelters. Every part of the caterpillar is designed to support its incredible transformation ahead. Caterpillars are best known for one thing: eating. Once hatched, their primary job is to consume as much food as possible to fuel their development. Most caterpillars are herbivores, feeding on specific host plants. Some are highly selective. Monarch caterpillars, for example, eat only milkweed. Others are less picky. Their digestive system is adapted to break down plant material, especially tough leaves rich in cellulose. Some caterpillars are even considered agricultural pests because they can strip entire crops or trees bare. But not all caterpillars eat plants. Some rare species, like those in Hawaii, are carnivorous and hunt small snails. Whether herbivore or predator, their appetite is legendary. A caterpillar may increase its body mass by over 1,000 times before it's ready to move on to the next stage. Caterpillars may look soft and harmless, but the wild is full of predators, birds, spiders, lizards, and even other insects. To survive, caterpillars have developed a range of defense strategies. Some are masters of disguise, blending in with leaves, bark, or twigs. Others take the opposite approach, using bright colors and bold patterns to signal that they're toxic or dangerous. Some species can even mimic snakes or bird droppings to avoid attention. Chemical defenses are also common. Monarch caterpillars store toxins from milkweed in their bodies, making them poisonous to predators. Meanwhile, the spiny Io moth caterpillar can deliver a painful sting. These survival tactics are vital during the vulnerable larval stage because not many caterpillars live long enough to transform. As caterpillars eat and grow, they must periodically shed their exoskeletons, a process called molting. This happens between instars, with most species molting 4 to 5 times. Each time, the new exoskeleton underneath is slightly larger and often reveals new color patterns or textures. Some caterpillars change dramatically from one molt to the next, confusing predators or blending into a new environment. During this stage, the caterpillar prepares for one of the most astonishing biological transformations in nature. Eventually, its body stops feeding, and internal changes begin, signaling that it's time to pupate. Everything the caterpillar has eaten and built up until this point will soon be put to use in the final stage of its metamorphosis. When the caterpillar is fully grown, it enters the pupal stage, a mysterious and transformative phase. Butterfly caterpillars form a chrysalis, while moths often spin a silk cocoon. Inside this protective casing, the caterpillar's body undergoes a complete reorganization. Its old tissues break down into a kind of biological soup, and new structures, wings, legs, antennae, are formed. This process can take days, weeks, or even months, depending on the species and climate. Some caterpillars even remain dormant over winter, emerging in spring. What's incredible is that during this stage, the caterpillar is entirely vulnerable, yet utterly transformed. When it emerges, it's no longer a caterpillar at all, but a winged adult ready to start the cycle over again. Caterpillars play a crucial role in ecosystems. They are a major food source for many animals and help control plant growth through their feeding. Humans have also benefited. Silkworm caterpillars have been used for centuries to produce silk, and scientists study caterpillar genetics, development, and behavior. And caterpillars are full of surprises. The Arctic woolly bear caterpillar, for instance, can survive by freezing solid and thawing out each year for up to 14 years before finally pupating. Some caterpillars, like the pine processionary, travel in long lines, while others have evolved symbiotic relationships with ants. Their diversity and adaptability make them one of the most incredible life forms on Earth. In just a few weeks, they go from leaf-munching larvae to graceful creatures of flight. An amazing reminder of the power of change in nature.
They waddle, they swim, they charm the world. Penguins. But beneath their adorable appearance lies a tale of survival, evolution, and incredible adaptation. In the next 15 minutes, we dive into the icy waters and sun-baked islands to uncover the untold story of one of the world's most unique birds. Penguins are flightless seabirds found almost exclusively in the southern hemisphere. They belong to the family Sphenicidae and have evolved over millions of years to become expert swimmers instead of flyers. Unlike most birds, their wings are shaped like flippers, built for navigating the ocean with speed and grace. But why did penguins lose their ability to fly? The answer lies in their diet and environment. Penguins have an ancient lineage. Fossils show that penguin ancestors roamed the Earth more than 60 million years ago. Some were over 5 feet tall. As Antarctica cooled and ocean currents changed, these birds adapted, turning wings into flippers and feathers into waterproof armor. Evolution turned them from flyers into marine hunters. While we think of penguins as icy dwellers, not all of them live in Antarctica. In fact, only a few species like the emperor and Adelie do. Others live on temperate and even tropical islands, like the Galapagos penguin, which lives near the equator. From New Zealand to South Africa to Argentina, penguins have carved out homes across the southern hemisphere. There are 18 recognized penguin species, each with its own quirks. The emperor penguin is the largest, standing nearly 4 feet tall. The little blue penguin, the smallest, is just over a foot. Some have yellow crests, like the rockhopper. Others, like the king penguin, have golden orange necks. Each has evolved to fit its environment and food source. How do penguins survive the brutal cold? They have dense, waterproof feathers and a thick layer of blubber. But perhaps their most ingenious trick is teamwork. In harsh blizzards, emperor penguins huddle in tightly packed groups, rotating positions so every bird gets a turn in the warm center. It's one of nature's most beautiful examples of cooperation. In water, penguins are like torpedoes. They can dive to depths over 500 meters and hold their breath for more than 20 minutes. Using powerful flippers, they glide through the ocean in search of krill, fish, and squid. Some species even leap out of the water in bursts, called porpoising, a move that helps them breathe without losing speed. Penguins form strong mating bonds. Many return to the same partner each breeding season. After laying 1 or 2 eggs, both parents take turns keeping them warm and feeding the chicks. Emperor penguins are especially remarkable. Males incubate the egg alone through the freezing Antarctic night, balancing it on their feet for 2 months without food. Penguins face many threats. In the wild, leopard seals and orcas are their main predators. On land, skuas and giant petrels attack eggs and chicks, but their greatest threat is human-driven. Climate change, overfishing, and oil spills are causing penguin populations to decline. Melting ice means fewer nesting areas and less food in the oceans. Penguins have become symbols of conservation, zoos, and wildlife. Groups around the world work to protect endangered species like the African and Galapagos penguins. Their plight reminds us how fragile marine ecosystems are. Through documentaries, science, and even animated films, penguins continue to capture our imagination. From frozen deserts to tropical shores, penguins are more than cute. They are survivors, swimmers, and social marvels. In saving them, we help protect an entire world beneath the waves. The next time you see a penguin, remember, you're looking at one of evolution's greatest success stories.
Imagine a creature so transparent you can see right through it. That's the glass squid. Living in the deep ocean, this bizarre-looking animal has a nearly invisible body that helps it avoid predators in the pitch-black depths. Some species even have internal organs that reflect light, making them nearly invisible from every angle. With tentacles like floating threads and big cartoon-like eyes, it looks like something out of science fiction. Scientists still know very little about this elusive animal because it lives so deep. But one thing is certain, nature doesn't care about looking normal. Meet the blobfish looks like a melting gelatinous blob out of water. Deep in the ocean, where it naturally lives, the blobfish has a more compact shape. It has no real muscles and relies on the high-pressure environment to maintain its form. Its strange, droopy appearance is the result of being brought to the surface too quickly. Despite its odd look, it's perfectly adapted to life in the deep sea. The blobfish doesn't hunt. It simply opens its mouth and waits for food to drift in. Talk about low effort. This lizard looks like it was designed by a dragon-loving child, covered in sharp, intimidating spikes from head to tail. But the thorny devil, native to the Australian desert, is not dangerous at all. Its spikes help it defend against predators and even collect water. When it rains or there's morning dew, water trickles between the grooves in its skin and flows directly to its mouth. It even has a fake second head on its back to confuse predators. Despite its fearsome look, the thorny devil feeds almost exclusively on ants, sometimes eating thousands in one meal. This deep-sea snail looks like it's wearing armor, and in a way, it is. Found near hydrothermal vents in the Indian Ocean, the scaly-foot snail has iron sulfide in its shell and even on its foot, making it one of the only animals with a metal-infused body. Scientists believe this natural armor helps protect it from predators and the extreme heat and pressure of its environment. Its unique shell has even inspired engineers to study it for military use. Who would have guessed that one of the most advanced biological defenses in the animal kingdom belongs to a deep-sea snail? The barrel-eye fish looks like it came from another planet. Floating in the deep sea, it has a completely transparent head. Yes, you can actually see its brain. Inside that dome-like head are two barrel-shaped eyes that point straight upward, helping it spot prey silhouetted against the faint light above. These eyes can even rotate inside the head to look forward when needed. The barrel-eye's body is small and still mysterious to researchers, but its alien-like appearance has made it one of the most fascinating and eerie creatures ever discovered in the deep ocean. The Dumbo octopus gets its name from its ear-like fins that resemble Disney's flying elephant. But unlike Dumbo, this deep-sea creature doesn't fly. It gracefully flaps through the water, often thousands of meters below the surface. It lives in near-freezing pitch-black environments and is rarely seen by humans. What makes it so weird isn't just its flappy ears, but its gelatinous body, umbrella-like webbing between its arms, and its ghostly, adorable face. While most octopuses crawl, the Dumbo octopus prefers to hover and drift, making it one of the most elegant and strangest creatures of the deep. Discovered only in 2005, the Yeti crab lives near hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor and looks like something out of a science fiction film. Its most bizarre feature? Hairy, fuzzy arms that resemble the fur of a Yeti. But those hairs aren't just for show. They host colonies of bacteria that may help the crab detoxify the water or even serve as a food source. Since it lives in complete darkness at crushing depths, this blind crustacean relies on touch and chemical signals to navigate. The Yeti crab's odd appearance and extreme habitat make it one of the weirdest known animals on Earth. The bobbit worm is as terrifying as it is strange. This ocean floor predator hides in the sand with only its antennae exposed. When it senses prey, it strikes with lightning speed. Its jaws snap shut so fast they can cut a fish in half. It can grow over 3 meters long, yet it remains nearly invisible until the moment it attacks. With no eyes and no brain in the traditional sense, the bobbit worm relies on nerve clusters to ambush its meals. Found in warm oceans, it's a nightmare lurking beneath the sea, a real monster hiding in plain sight. The axolotl isn't just weird-looking, it's practically a superhero. This aquatic salamander from Mexico never grows up, literally. Unlike most amphibians, it keeps its feathery external gills and larval features throughout its life, a condition called neoteny. Even stranger, axolotls can regrow almost any part of their body, limbs, spine, heart tissue, and even parts of their brain. Scientists study them for clues to human tissue regeneration. With its permanent smile and pink, ghostly appearance, the axolotl looks like a mythical creature. But it's very real and very special. It might not look like much, but the peanut worm is one of the strangest creatures lurking beneath the ocean floor. Named because it looks like a peanut when it contracts, this soft-bodied marine worm can extend its body several times its resting length. It has no skeleton, no segments, and no brain. Yet it thrives in deep-sea mud across the globe. Its most bizarre feature? When threatened, it can literally shrink into a ball. Despite its simplicity, the peanut worm plays a vital role in stirring ocean sediment and recycling nutrients, proving that even the weirdest-looking animals have a job to do. The coelacanth is often called a living fossil because it hasn't changed much in over 400 million years. Scientists thought it went extinct, along with the dinosaurs, 66 million years ago, until one was caught off the coast of South Africa in 1938. This deep-sea fish dates back to before the first dinosaurs appeared, and lived alongside them through the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods. With its unique lobe fins, the coelacanth is a critical evolutionary link between fish and the first land-dwelling animals. Today, it survives in the deep oceans of the Indian Ocean, far from the shallow coastal waters it once roamed with prehistoric marine reptiles. The horseshoe crab might look like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually one of Earth's oldest living species, surviving virtually unchanged for over 450 million years. That means it lived through multiple mass extinctions, including the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. Despite its name, it's not a crab at all. It's more closely related to spiders and scorpions. These armored creatures roamed the prehistoric shores alongside early dinosaurs, and their blue blood is still used in modern medicine today to test vaccines and medical devices for safety. The horseshoe crab's resilience is astonishing. It survived asteroid impacts, volcanic eruptions, and even ice ages. While the dinosaurs vanished, this living fossil continues to thrive quietly along the coasts of Asia and North America. The sturgeon is often called a living fossil, and for good reason. This massive fish has been swimming in Earth's waters for more than 200 million years. That means it shared rivers and lakes with some of the earliest dinosaurs, growing up to 20 feet, 6 meters long, and weighing over 1,000 pounds. The sturgeon is one of the largest freshwater fish in the world. It hasn't changed much since the Jurassic period, thanks to its tough armor-like scales and powerful body. These creatures are slow to mature and can live for over a century, while their prehistoric ancestors survived the dinosaur extinction. Modern sturgeons face a new threat: overfishing, mainly for their prized caviar. Despite their ancient origins, sturgeons still swim silently in rivers like the Danube, Volga, and Mississippi, a ghostly reminder of Earth's deep past. The tuatara may look like a lizard, but it's not one. It's the sole survivor of an ancient reptile order called Rhynchocephalia that thrived during the time of the dinosaurs, over 200 million years ago. Native only to New Zealand, tuataras are often called living fossils. While dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago, the tuatara quietly continued its existence on remote islands, barely changing in appearance or behavior. What makes tuataras so unique? They have a third eye, called the parietal eye, located on top of their head. It doesn't see images, but it helps regulate their biological clock and absorb UV light. They also grow incredibly slowly and can live to be over 100 years old. Despite their resilience, tuataras are now endangered due to habitat destruction and introduced predators like rats. But thanks to conservation efforts, these ancient creatures still cling to life, carrying the DNA of a world long gone. Imagine a creature that looks like it swam out of a sci-fi horror movie, with a long, flat snout and a jaw that launches forward like a spring-loaded trap. Meet the goblin shark, a bizarre deep-sea predator that has remained largely unchanged for over 125 million years. Fossils of goblin shark ancestors have been traced back to the early Cretaceous period, meaning these strange-looking sharks were gliding through the oceans, while dinosaurs ruled the land. Unlike most sharks we're familiar with, the goblin shark has a translucent, flabby body and tiny fins, not exactly built for speed, but perfect for stealth in the pitch-black ocean depths. What makes it even more unique is its extendable jaws. When prey like squid or fish swim nearby, the goblin shark's jaws can suddenly shoot forward faster than the blink of an eye, snatching up its meal with razor-sharp teeth. It's like something out of Alien, but it's real and it's ancient. While dinosaurs thundered across ancient lands, the oceans held their own marvels, like the Nautilus, a living fossil that's barely changed in over 500 million years. These spiral-shelled cephalopods survived, mass extinctions that wiped out over 90% of marine life, including the one that ended the age of dinosaurs. Nautiluses are relatives of squids and octopuses, but they look more like underwater time machines. Their coiled shells are perfectly engineered for buoyancy, allowing them to rise and fall through the water using internal chambers filled with gas. Ancient species of nautiloids once ruled the oceans, some growing up to 20 feet long. Today's nautiluses are smaller, around 6 to 10 inches, but just as fascinating. They have 90 tentacles, no suckers, and excellent vision for low light, allowing them to hunt crustaceans in the deep ocean. What's truly mind-blowing is how slowly they live, growing and reproducing at a glacial pace, making them especially vulnerable to modern threats like overfishing and deep-sea mining. Despite all odds, the Nautilus has survived every extinction event since the Cambrian period. It swam with ammonites, escaped the jaws of mosasaurs, and outlived the T-Rex, a true survivor of deep time. Meet the bichir, a strange, eel-like fish that looks like it swam. Straight out of the Jurassic period, and in many ways, it did. Native to freshwater systems in Africa, bichirs have existed in some form for over 400 million years, long before the first dinosaurs walked the earth. Bichirs are part of a primitive group of fish known as polypteriforms. What makes them so unique? For starters, they breathe air. Yes, despite being fish, they have lungs, not just gills. This allows them to survive in poorly oxygenated waters and even spend short periods out of water. Their appearance is just as prehistoric. Long bodies armored with thick, gonoid scales. The same kind found in ancient fishes like sturgeon and gars give them a plated, dinosaur-like look. They also have dorsal finlets, small, separate fins that run down their back like spines, almost resembling the silhouette of a stegosaurus. Bichirs are slow-moving ambush predators, using stealth to hunt insects, crustaceans, and small fish. Their behavior and physiology haven't changed much in hundreds of millions of years, making them true living fossils. While bichirs never shared a watering hole with a triceratops, they coexisted with ancient crocodiles, early amphibians, and many of the giant aquatic reptiles that dominated the Mesozoic. Today, they remain one of the closest glimpses we have into what early fish life looked like alongside dinosaurs. If you're looking for a creature that's truly ancient and alien, look no further than the lamprey, a jawless, parasitic fish that has barely changed in over 360 million years. That means lampreys were swimming through Earth's waters long before the first dinosaurs appeared, and they survived long after those giants vanished. Unlike modern fish, lampreys don't have jaws, scales, or paired fins. Instead, they have a round, sucker-like mouth filled with rows of sharp teeth, which they use to latch onto other fish and feed on their blood and bodily fluids. It sounds like something from a horror movie, but it's simply nature, unchanged for eons. Fossil evidence shows that early, lamprey-like species existed during the Devonian period, making them one of the most ancient lineages of vertebrates still alive today. They were already thriving in Earth's waters while giant sea scorpions, trilobites, and early sharks roamed the oceans. And they continued on, through the reign of the dinosaurs, relatively untouched by extinction events. Modern lampreys can be found in both saltwater and freshwater environments across the world. Some are non-parasitic and live short, harmless lives. Others can be devastating to ecosystems, like the invasive sea lamprey in the Great Lakes. Whether you see them as nightmarish or fascinating, one thing's for sure. The lamprey is a biological time traveler, offering a rare glimpse into the world of early vertebrate evolution, a survivor of deep time that shared ancient waters with the giants of the Mesozoic. Few animals alive today have a closer connection to the age of dinosaurs than the crocodile. These fearsome reptiles are often called living dinosaurs, but technically, they're more like the dinosaurs' cousins. Their lineage dates back over 200 million years, meaning crocodiles were already prowling prehistoric swamps, while dinosaurs were just beginning their reign. During the Mesozoic era, crocodile ancestors came in all shapes and sizes. Some were ocean-going predators, others were land-based runners with long legs, and a few even had herbivorous diets. But the modern crocodiles we recognize today, like the Nile crocodile or the saltwater crocodile, emerged in a form similar to today's around 80 to 100 million years ago, just in time to witness the end of the dinosaurs. What makes crocodiles so successful? Their biology is built for survival. They can go months without eating, slow their heart rate to just 2 or 3 beats per minute, and spend hours submerged with barely a ripple. Their powerful bite, one of the strongest in the animal kingdom, helps them bring down prey with ease, even after the asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. 66 million years ago, crocodiles endured. Their semi-aquatic lifestyle, cold-blooded metabolism, and ability to survive long stretches without food made them ideal survivors in a collapsing world. Today, crocodiles remain apex predators in rivers, swamps, and coastlines, silent reminders of Earth's distant past. When you look into a crocodile's eyes, you're looking into a living fossil that outlived the dinosaurs and never gave up its throne. At the very top of our list is the ultimate survivor of deep time, the shark. These oceanic predators have ruled the seas for over 400 million years, meaning they were around long before dinosaurs appeared. And they're still thriving today. Sharks existed during the Devonian period, also known as the Age of Fishes. That's nearly 200 million years before the first dinosaur took its first step. While many shark species have come and gone, the general design, cartilage skeleton, multiple rows of teeth, and electrosensory organs has barely changed over hundreds of millions of years. During the time of the dinosaurs, sharks were already top predators. In fact, some of the most massive and terrifying sharks swam during the Mesozoic era, like Cratoxorhina, a 25-foot-long giant that ruled the late Cretaceous oceans, preying on marine reptiles and giant fish. These sharks likely swam alongside mosasaurs, plesiosaurs, and even witnessed the rise and fall of T-Rex just from beneath the waves. What makes sharks such perfect survivors? They're fast, efficient hunters with a sixth sense for detecting electrical signals in prey. Many species can replace lost teeth in days, and some can go weeks without eating. And with hundreds of species across the globe, sharks have adapted to every marine environment, from shallow reefs to the deep ocean trenches. Even after the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs, sharks endured. They've lived through 5 major extinction events and are still here, gliding through the oceans like living relics of Earth's distant past. When it comes to ancient resilience, no animal beats the shark. That's why it rightfully claims the #1 spot on our list of animals that lived with dinosaurs.